What's up, guys? It's me, Alan. I'm back with another video, and I'm over here on NFL Playoff Predictor to basically take a look at what I think the rest of the season is going to be, because this playoff race is going to be fucking nuts, and yeah, we got big games to go. Yes, the Seahawks and the football team still need to play tonight to close out Week 12. I don't care. I want to predict how I think this rest of the season is going to go, because it's going to be bonkers. So therefore, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Make sure to use code ANJJ for free shipping on orders of $20 or more over at Strictly Diecast. Also, let me know your thoughts down below on what I think is going to happen. And let's get the fuck into this, shall we? So right out of the gate, I'm going to say football team beats Seattle because reasons. And yeah. So, week 13, let's jump into this. Big games. A couple of big ones. First of all, Chargers going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. They're going to go in there and they're going to walk out with a W because the Chargers fucking need it. Honestly, the Chargers are lucky to have not lost their last 6 games by this point. They lose to the Ravens in week 6. They get their bye, lose to the Patriots, almost lose to the Eagles, lose to the Vikings, almost blow it to the fucking Steelers in the fourth quarter, lost to the Broncos. They should probably be 4-7 right about now. After starting 4-1, their only loss being to the Cowboys. That said, big win here. Cowboys over the Texans. Ravens will manhandle the Steelers. Chiefs beat the Broncos. Buffalo gets the win over New England on Monday night, but we'll come back to this because they play again in a couple weeks' time. Dolphins over the Giants, Eagles over the Jets, Raiders over the football team, Rams over the Jaguars, Cowboys over the Saints on Thursday night, Cardinals over the Bears, Buccaneers over the Falcons, Vikings over the Lions, and Seattle has to take on San Francisco on Sunday afternoon, and I have San Francisco winning this game. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Seattle, you're done. Moving on. Week 14, we kick it off with the Vikings and Steelers on Thursday night, and the Vikings get a big-ass fucking W to, continue their playoff hopes. On Sunday, we have several big matchups, specifically in the AFC. Cleveland taking on Baltimore in their rematch, Kansas City against the Raiders in their rematch from earlier in the year. I'm going to say that the Browns will get the win over the Ravens. It's not going to really mean much to Cleveland other than they split the season series because there's no way in hell Cleveland's going to make the playoffs at this point. They're way too injured. Baker needs to fucking sit his ass down and get healthy or he's going to fucking die out there, honestly, if I'm just being honest. And at this point, this win would help their Ohio brethren in the Bengals to keep up with the Ravens. And then Raiders Chiefs. Raiders get revenge for losing to the Chiefs a few weeks earlier, and it continues their run to a potential playoff berth. I don't know how the fuck they're doing this. Tennessee beats Jacksonville. Cincinnati gets a big win over the Niners. Saints beat the Jets. Seahawks beat the Texans. Hey, Lions, you get a W over the Broncos because the way this season's gone, it would be the most Broncos thing to do and the most 2021 thing to do in terms of NFL context. Just saying. Chargers get a big win over the Giants. I say big win because, again, they could be 0-6 by now in their last 6 games, but hey, they can get every win that they need and should. Tampa Bay holds the fort down at home and gets the big win over the Bills on Sunday afternoon, which would help out with New England, of course, to get back to being close to that top spot in the AFC East. Thank you, Tom Brady. Dallas gets the job done over the football team. Panthers beat the Falcons. Packers put on a masterclass and beat the Bears on Sunday night. And on Monday night, the Rams avenged their loss from earlier in the year and beat the Cardinals. Then we get to week 15 and we kick it off with an AFC West showdown. Chargers, Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. This is gonna be nuts. If the Chargers want to win the AFC West and stave off both the Raiders and the Chiefs, they have to win this game. And they will, sweeping the Chiefs on the season. Huge fucking W. Alright? Then we get to the Saturday games. Browns, Raiders, Patriots, and the Colts. Patriots going to New England, or going to Indianapolis, I should say. Excuse me. Raiders get the job done over the Browns because, well, the Browns are injured to shit. And the Patriots will take a tough test from the Colts and say, bye-bye, Indy, and get the job done and get the win, jumping back in front of the Bills in the division for the time being until the Bills play the Panthers, and Buffalo wins. Setting up, of course, their Week 16 matchup, but we'll get to that. Dolphins get the job done over the Jets. Jaguars beat the Texans. Pittsburgh pulls a win out of their ass over the Tennessee Titans in a trap game for Tennessee that wouldn't be if Derrick Henry wasn't hurt. And if you're a Titans fan, you are praying to the holiest of deities that Derrick Henry will be back by the playoffs, if not sooner. Cincinnati gets the job done over Denver. Baltimore has a big game against the Packers, and they will win it, which will be huge for them. Philly gets the job done over the football team. Dallas over the Giants. Cardinals over the Lions. Niners over the Falcons. Rams over the Seahawks. Tampa Bay on Sunday Night Football avenges their loss to the Saints from earlier in the year. How the hell do you let Trevor Siemian beat you after Jameis Winston went down with injury? Tampa gets the win. And then the Vikings beat the Bears on Monday night because fuck Chicago. Sorry, Hiei. If you don't know who that is, watch the Dumpster Fire on Tuesday nights with Urinating Tree, Uche Nwaneri, and 5 Points Vids. Shameless plug. Just saying. Thursday Night Football, Week 16, Tennessee against the 49ers. Tennessee, massive win. I say massive because, that could be a trap game for them, just like the Steelers were. 49ers, it hurts their playoff hopes, but they're still in it. Then we get to the Saturday games. Green Bay against Cleveland, and I want to say Cleveland could pull a win out of their ass, but again, they're injured to shit. Baker needs to sit. Packers get the easy W. And then we get to see the Colts on Saturday again. Back-to-back Saturday games. This time they have to take on the Cardinals, and while they couldn't beat the Patriots the week before, they will beat the Cardinals this time. And that's a massive win for Indy because it keeps their playoff hopes alive. Cincy gets a massive win over the Ravens, which will absolutely help them towards winning the AFC North, but we'll get to that with next week's game. Jaguars over the Jets. Patriots win in the rematch, taking the AFC West lead again. Chargers beat the Texans. Chiefs beat the Steelers. Raiders beat the Broncos. Dolphins beat the Saints. Eagles beat the Giants. Hey, Detroit, you get another win, this time over the Falcons. Tampa over Carolina. Minnesota pulls a massive win out of their ass over the Rams because the Rams have looked a little bit weird lately in how they've played. Seattle gets the Bears to take an L to them. That sentence came out weird. And Dallas gets the job done over the football team on Sunday night. Week 17. Massive games all around. Several playoff implicating games this week, and it's going to be nuts. First of all, no Thursday games, all on Sunday, of course, with the exception being the Steelers-Browns Classic. That's going to be Monday Night Football. So, Bengals Chiefs, let's kick it off with that. If the Bengals want to win the AFC North, even though they've swept the Ravens and could very well win their Week 18 game against the Browns and, subsequently Ravens could beat the Steelers, they need to beat the Chiefs in order to win the North. Because if the Ravens win next week, Week 18, and they win over the Rams in Week 17, with the Bengals losing to the Chiefs, the Bengals would be stuck in the wild card. I think Cincinnati can get the job done and pull a massive win against the Chiefs, effectively being the dagger that's going to keep the Chiefs from making the playoffs, along with the Raiders doing good. Speaking of, they have a massive game against the Colts. More massive for the Colts in terms of playoff implications, because if the Colts can win, and barring what happens in the Titans-Dolphins game, not only does this keep the Colts in playoff contention, but it keeps them in contention for the AFC South crown. I'm sorry, but I have the Raiders winning. And funny enough, I have the Dolphins pulling one out of their ass, keeping their playoff hopes alive, and beating the Titans. Indianapolis fans, I'm looking at you, David Land. I'm sorry. New England gets the job done over Jacksonville, as Jaguars fans ponder why the fuck they had their team hire Urban Meyer, or I should say how their team hired him, because what the fuck. Chargers beat the Broncos, and the Browns beat the Steelers, so that the Steelers can't sweep them on the season. Bills against the Falcons. On one hand, the Bills should be able to win this game. On the other hand, Falcons could play a spoiler, and this season has been on crack, and this would be a 2021 NFL season thing to do. I think the Falcons will pull one out in Buffalo, and it's going to set up something big next week between, with that final wild card spot. It's going to look nuts. Tampa over the Jets, Niners over the Texans, and then Sunday afternoon, Ravens, Rams. The Rams have looked weird against teams above 500. They split with the Cardinals. They lost to they lost to the Titans earlier in the year. They lost to the 49ers on Monday night. They lost to the Packers coming off their bye. They've got to find a way to beat winning teams. Again, how is it that you beat the defending Super Bowl champions, but you lose to some of these other, to a team like the 49ers who've been hurt most of the year, and also lose to the Titans who didn't have Derrick Henry? That said, they take another L. It's going to be a Ravens W. Big W for Baltimore. Bears over the Giants. Cowboys get a big win over the Cardinals. Eagles over the football team. Saints over the Panthers. Seahawks over the Lions. And the Packers over the Vikings. So, going into Week 18, the playoffs look like this. Patriots, Chargers, Bengals, Titans all leading their divisions. Patriots, Chargers, and Bengals at 11-5. Titans at 10-6. Raiders and Ravens, both sitting 11-5, are your top two wild cards. The Bills at 9-7 are your 7th seed, with the Dolphins and Chiefs also at 9-7, and the Colts and the Browns sitting at 8-8, just watching and hoping that chaos will run abound. On the NFC side, 13-3 Bucks sit at the top, with the 12-4 Cowboys, 12-4 Packers, Cardinals 11-5, Rams 10-6, 49ers 9-7, Vikings 9-7 behind them, and the Eagles looking to somehow make the playoffs as a wild card, also sitting 9-7. Here we go. Bills get the job done over the Jets, which effectively ends the Dolphins' hopes of making the playoffs, considering that the Dolphins lost both times to the Bills earlier this year. And, yeah. Bengals get the job done over the Browns, which effectively should clinch them the North, and will, considering that they will have beaten the Ravens both times this season, the way I see it. New England, no shenanigans in Miami. They get the win. Colts get the job done over the Jaguars, but it's obviously too little too late. Ravens get the job done over the Steelers. Titans beat the Texans in their rematch. Kansas City beats Denver, but again, it's too little too late. And then the Chargers beat the Raiders to win the West. Because on the flip side, if the Raiders were to win, they somehow win. They would freaking win the West. I cannot explain that to you with the way that this Raiders season has been. But anyway, Chargers got the win there. On the NFC side, Tampa beats Carolina. Philly gets a big win over the over the Cowboys, which would help them out with the playoffs. Saints over the Falcons, because why not? Football team over the Giants. Packers over the Lions. Vikings over the Bears. Cardinals over the Seahawks. And that leaves the Rams and the 49ers. If the Rams win, well, they keep their playoff spot. If the 49ers win, they're in. Rams are out. And, well, yeah. What the fuck, LA? Well, LA won't screw it up. They win the game. They lock up a playoff spot. So, your wild card round matchups will be 4v5 Tennessee versus Baltimore, 3v6 Bengals versus Raiders, 2v7 Chargers versus Bills. On the NFC side, Cardinals versus Rams in the 4v5, Cowboys versus the Vikings in the 3v6, and the Packers against the Eagles in the 2v7 seeding matchup, that is, with the Patriots and Buccaneers managing to get the byes. Tennessee, you take the L. Ravens win in another playoff rematch. I'm sorry, but no Derrick Henry is what essentially drops you to the fourth spot and knocks you out in the first round again. Even if you get him back, there's no guarantee that he's going to be a full 100% King Derrick Henry. And it sucks because he was looking like he could possibly win the fucking MVP this year. God damn it. Raiders, your magical, crazy, wild, wacky, depressing season that somehow nets you a fucking wild card spot over the goddamn Chiefs. Your season ends to the Bengals, Joe Burrow getting a big playoff victory. And then the Chargers get the job done over the Bills. Sorry, Buffalo. You've looked kind of weird this year. You're done. On the NFC side, the Rams pull one out again, and they get the job done over the Cardinals, ending their crazy, wild, wacky season that saw them as being the last undefeated team standing. I don't know how that's even a thing, because it's the Cardinals, but they did it. Cowboys, they get the job done over the Vikings, and the Packers will get the job done over the Eagles, because go figure. So that sets up Chargers, Bengals, Ravens, and the Ravens going to New England again, because New England, Baltimore in the playoffs. Who doesn't like that? On the NFC side, you get the Packers, Cowboys in a playoff matchup we haven't seen in a while, and a rivalry that hasn't had a ton of substance, but, now it does because the Cowboys are back. And we get a rematch between the Buccaneers and Rams. Justin Herbert's going to take the Chargers to the freaking AFC Championship game. I'm booking it right now. On the other end, New England is back in the AFC Championship game again with another win over the Ravens in the playoffs. You just can't escape them. Then we got the Packers and Cowboys, and I'm taking the Cowboys to get the win over the Packers. And, well, who knows where Aaron Rodgers will be next year. And then the Buccaneers avenge their loss to the Rams earlier this year and get the win. So that sets up AFC and NFC championship games being the Patriots against the Chargers and the Buccaneers against the Cowboys. Oh my God. Of course, there's multiple potential matchups here. You could get the Chargers and the Cowboys, the Bucs and the Chargers, New England against the Cowboys, or the ultimate fuck you, Patriots Buccaneers. And that's exactly what's going to happen, because this season has been on fucking crack, and it would be perfect if the season ended with Tampa Bay and New England in the Super Bowl. Brady against his old team again, because they played each other earlier this year. And just, bro, if I'm Tom Brady here, if I win, if this happens, and you win, and Brady wins the Super Bowl here against his former team, him and Belichick need to retire at the end of this game. No questions asked. It would be the perfect story. It would be the perfect ending for these two people who have been linked together for so long, for them to go out on top together, because with both of them in the Super Bowl, yes, one would win and the other would lose, but it just, come on. Brady, Belichick, facing off in the Super Bowl, you have to think, regardless of who wins and loses, they gotta go out together. They just have to. Although I want Brady to retire as a Patriot, just saying. That being said, though, I don't know who to pick in this one. Because on one hand, again, I want to see Brady win another Super Bowl. On the other hand, he got his win over New England earlier this year. And I also want New England to get one back on him and win a Super Bowl without Brady, because that would be fucking hilarious. At the end of it all, I think this is going to be a hell of a match, but Brady and company are just going to be too much for the Patriots to handle. Tampa Bay goes back to back, and Brady gets another Super Bowl ring. What a season it would be if that happens. So, you're probably screaming and pissed off at that prediction, but hey, again, this season has been on massive amounts of crack, and I feel like this would be the ultimate fuck you to the NFL in terms of fans who hate the Patriots and hate Tom Brady. I'm looking at you, Barry McCockner. Suck it. So, what y'all think? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.